with stand-apart specs, for example, a 108-megapixel fundamental camera, 67-watt fast charging, a 5000 mAh battery, and a 120Hz presentation refresh rate. Things surely look promising for this very much valued telephone. Design and screen. Ugly looks, splendid screen, Gorilla Glass 5 and IP53 confirmation. While the Poco X4 Pro 5G fights at a surprisingly high level in many regards, the design is one component where it lets itself down a lot. The camera module ranges the majority of the gadget's back and is out-and-out monstrous, with a colossal brand name put over it just in case. The backboard itself is very attractive, particularly when the sun's out, as then it gets the light with sparkling, befuddling streaks start to finish. In any case, this additional shine really makes it very elusive to the touch, and given the huge and protruding camera module too, I tragically found on several events that this makes it somewhat prone to tumbling off marginally slanted surfaces in the event that you haven't put it down cautiously. At the point when you need to open the gadget, you have the decision of utilizing Face Open on Unique Mark Open. In my experience, both of these techniques work dependably and effectively. Luckily, there are some reasonable contacts at play with the design, in spite of its without a doubt troublesome appearance. The screen is projected in Gorilla Glass 5, implying that it ought to be very impervious to knocks and scratches. It additionally has an IP53 confirmation, and that implies it's protected from some water splash and from restricted dust entrance. The Poco X4 Pro has likewise got a microSD space for expandable capacity, notwithstanding the limit of 256 GB that is installed. You won't view that as on a large numbers of the best telephones. Similar to the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, there's a 3.5mm earphone jack as well, one more component normally lost on top of the line telephones now. The screen won't have close to however many doubters as the design, since it's honestly absolutely incredible at the cost, estimating a liberal 6.67 inches slantingly across. This AMOLED board flaunts phenomenal difference contrasted with LCD partners. While at 1080p the goal is bounty sharp enough for watching recordings or messing around. The 120Hz refresh rate is a stellar element at this cost. Making content, for example, online entertainment takes care of overall quite smooth to look down because of the screen being continually refreshed. It's quite important, however, that dissimilar to premium gadgets like the OnePlus 10 Pro, which can offer versatile refresh rate, this one must be set at 120Hz or the standard 60Hz physically, with practically no capacity of program change for battery preservation. I additionally observed the descriptive word brilliance to be responsive and successful, with the board illuminating rapidly to the point of guaranteeing that I never needed to scrunch my face up to make out what was on my screen. In any event, when under direct daylight. Camera, solid 108-megapixel principal camera sensor. Optional sensors and selfie camera aren't on a similar level. One of the title specs of this gadget is, without uncertainty, its 108-megapixel principal camera. In the event that the screen specs weren't sufficient to get you scouring your eyes and twofold taking the sticker price, then this one will, as constantly I would anticipate that this sensor should be tracked down in considerably more costly gadgets. Night mode gets up some free from the commotion and reestablishes regular tones, as you can see from the image underneath. Nonetheless, obviously this mode isn't quite so great as marginally pricier mid-range telephones like the Pixel 4a. The noteworthy fundamental camera is joined by a 2-megapixel full-scale sensor and an 8-megapixel ultra-wide focal point. The ultra-wide focal point isn't especially noteworthy, as you can see from the snap above, and the leap down in quality is extremely recognizable when you change to it from the fundamental. The deficiency of detail implies that you'll be best encouraged to adhere to the primary camera however much as could reasonably be expected while you're shooting. With regards to video recording, you can take 1080p film at 30 fps. You can't record at 60 fps. So the video results aren't too smooth, and notwithstanding the sensor's high goal, you can't keep in 4 Kelvin quality either, which is probably down to the constraints of the processor. Performance, respectable, yet not champion, performance levels. 5G availability. The Poco X4 Pro sudden spikes in demand for a mid-range Snapdragon 695 processor, which isn't the fastest around yet luckily packs in a 5G modem with the goal that you can approach the exceptionally most recent and versatile information speeds. It's a long way from a given for a telephone at this sticker cost to have 5G network, so that is a significant selling point in support of it, especially assuming you'd like it to be fairly future-proof. Notwithstanding 5G, the handset additionally has double-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.1 network. The product at play here is a Poco variant of MIUI 13, and it depends on Android 11. I hate MIUI, which generally comes loaded down with bloatware upon establishment and even shows adverts at certain places. I'd very much want a cleaner and more smoothed out programming bundle. Additional highlights incorporate the capacity to make a separate application cabinet that stows away delicate applications you wouldn't believe others should see. However, this doesn't add a lot of added esteem with everything taken into account. Battery. Potential 2-day battery duration. 67-watt fast charging. The battery has a liberal 5,000 mAh limit, and this is carried to hold on for great impact. I never verged on depleting the battery totally, even after as long as 6 hours of screen on time in one day. Assuming you utilize your telephone generally safely, I could without much of a stretch see it enduring both of you days. As far as unambiguous errands, I watched an hour of Netflix and the battery depleted by 5%, while streaming music on Spotify brought the battery somewhere around only 2% following 60 minutes, besides the fact that the battery rise up to can escalated utilization. Yet you can top it up again rapidly also on account of the 67-watt charging, and this charger is remembered for the case as well. This is promoted as having the option to top you up to 90% from zero in only 31 minutes, which is exceptionally amazing for any cell phone, not to mention one that costs pretty much nothing.